2, and we're live. Okay, bring the microphone into proximity. Make sure all systems are go. We have sound. We have video. Oh, by the way, I'm setting up a studio right over here. And sometime in the near future, we'll have many, I guess, like a stage, so I can perform. All right, the title of this video, the title of this stream. I don't know if you've noticed that virtually all of my videos are streams. Every once in a while, I record something, like we're doing the market call now every day. That's recorded, but it's short, and it's just a short conversation between myself and Don, and he's reading the tea leaves of the statistical engine that he has to give us a good idea of what patterns might have set up and where we are. And so that's what we do. That's that. All right. It provides great input to some of the trades that I make using options. Now, that signal is for people. You would think that it's for people that are just interested in directional moves, and that couldn't be further from the truth, although it provides fantastic directionality. I've been using it just to plop myself into the right place where I can put on a trade using options that will give me the greatest probability of profit and return on capital. And that, combined with our proprietary system here at Asymmetric, has proven to be absolutely spot on without really using very much of our working capital. This we're able to achieve a really a remarkable, consistent way of bringing in money. So far, we're in the midst, or we're coming now to the end of our fourth campaign number 4. And we've been averaging somewhere between 8 and 10% per month return on our capital, with very, very little volatility in those returns. Our max drawdown has yet to exceed 5%. And that seems to be pretty consistent. I can see that that going forward. I don't see that stopping at all. And it really comes down to this very different philosophy that that seems to be pervasive with a lot of options traders. You know, maybe following the tasty trade way, or maybe the option alpha way, or power options, or any of the other vendors out there that are supplying option signals and education and so forth. And while Tasty Trade and a lot of these others provide fantastic knowledge bases on the mechanics of various strategies and tips and techniques and everything that you can expect, their overall strategy is flawed, fundamentally flawed. They're taking way, way too much risk for so little gain. Now, of course, they're trying to straddle the fence, no pun intended, straddle the fence of taking advantage of, say, high implied volatility and relatively high probability of profit trades, and they're trying to find some sort of compromise. But there is no compromise. There is no compromise. When you're trying to collect theta, when you're trying to collect premium, you have to kind of take the intrinsic value, the delta, out of the equation completely, or as best you can, and concentrate on getting to that zero DTE, the 0 days to expiration. Why do you want to get right down to the end? But if you get down to the end, you have to be in a position where you feel completely comfortable that you're going to be out of the money. You want to be out of the money at 0 DTE so that you can reap the nirvana, the benefits of that maximum theta decay. That's the key. That's everything. If you can't do that, why even bother? So, their strategy then is to, you take too much risk to get a little profit when you go for these high probabilities. But, they're not taking into account that you can adjust. You can use things like calendars. You can take advantage of knowledge of, where you think volatility is going, where it is. Maybe it's going up, maybe it's going down. And you don't have to care about price or direction. All you have to be is within a zone. Get in a zone and make sure that there's plenty of room on to your left and to your right, and then just wait it out. But don't do it so that you're so far away from coming to that end point that you have to settle for 40 or 50% of your total credit that you're hoping to capture. Why not get all of it? Because most of those people that are sort of fixed on taking 50% of the credit that they receive, then be happy with that, a lot of the times they never get there. They never get to the 50%. So what do you do in those cases? What if I could put you into that 0 DTE consistently and be there with not a care in the world? And all you have to do is just sit there and collect. That's where you want to be. See, the thing is, if you're trying to balance this return on capital and probability of profit equation, you're trying to do some 1-to-1, 2-to-3, 1-to-3, whatever it is, it's not working. Because you're trying to be a kind of like a hedger and find some minuscule edge, when it's fully within your capability to find a friggin' huge edge and take much smaller profits, but do it over and over and over and collect all of it. Take it all. That's how you make money in this game. I can consistently bring in 4, 5, 7, 10% per month without sweating a bead. And just by using credit spreads and calendars. Calendars are probably the magic bullet. With a calendar, you can basically it's taking the whole intrinsic game, taking the intrinsic nature of a trade just completely off the table. The key, though, is really getting yourself there. I kind of liken it to, how would you rate safety? Where would you put yourself where you think it's a safe place? If you could just get far enough into the safe place so you have enough distance and enough, big enough walls and enough people in your way and guards and everything else around you that you would feel completely safe. No matter what, nobody could reach you. That's the key. Get in that spot, sit down, wait for the time to run out, and then collect the money, and then do it over again. That's what we do. That's what we do here at Asymmetric Advisor with our 3D options. We find that safe place. We sit down and we wait. But we don't have to wait too long. Why do you have to wait? Why is it optimum to put yourself out, say, 30 days or 45 days to expiration? You know what can happen in 30 to 45 days? The world could end. Seriously, the world could end. But if you put yourself there, say 2 or 3 days out, quite frankly, it's beyond just about anybody to reliably predict, or at least have a high degree of confidence that things aren't going to end in, say, 2 or 3 days. And that's when you're receiving the maximum amount of credit. That's the maximum theta draw. And even then, it's varying wildly right at the very end. But if you have the confidence to hold out to that last day, and you're completely out of the money, you don't have a care in the world, you can sit back. Sit back and just enjoy it. That's the key. That's what we do. You don't need a lot. I mean, you're not trying to make a killing here. I'm not suggesting that you're sitting here trying to hit home runs. I'm saying that we're getting up there and we're bunting with nobody on third. there's no third baseman. I can just bunt it down the line and I can walk to first. And do it over and over and over again. I don't even have to hit a single. Or I could walk. I know I'm using these baseball analogies and that's going right over the head of a lot of you. Especially this year since there hasn't been much baseball. We did just have a World Series though. It's going to have an asterisk next to it. All right. Do we have any comments here? Hello, y'all. So here's the deal. We have technologies, we have proprietary systems that help put us in that safe place, right? Figure out how we're going to get there. What's the predictive nature of getting there? Putting on a trade that gives us enough buffer that it would take, I don't know, what would it take? It would take a global macro event, like a huge outlier to shake you off. And then you just protect yourself, you have some limited downside so that, okay, so maybe 2 or 3% of the time I lose, but I have a way to even mitigate most of those. And then put on those high probability trades. Take the delta or the intrinsic value of your options completely out of the question, then it's just a matter of time. Time is your most precious commodity. Time is Nirvana. And zero DTE is Nirvana. That's what you want to reach. That's where you want to get. That's where you're going to receive the maximum amount. I could be losing in terms of price and still win. As a matter of fact, it happens every day. It's happening right now, as a matter of fact. Price is coming down. I'm still winning. That's what it's all about. That's where it's at. That is Nirvana. Zero DTE. Getting to zero DTE. I found that, at first I was looking at trades that were, max 20 days out. And I thought that was some sort of compromise. That would give me a little bit more confidence. And it was fairly successful until it's not, right? Then you either have to drop a trade or try to kind of resurrect it. And you have to perform these mental gymnastics. And it's a little bit stressful. But there's no stress in, sitting in that safe place and knowing that you're being, fed intravenously. And you have a cure in the world. You can just sit there and enjoy the scenery. I know there's a lot of metaphors going on there. But I found that the best strategy is, say, 2 to 7 days out. 2 to 7 days out of expiration. Finding high probability trades above 85%, using our secret sauce to amp up the effective probability of profit to 95% or better. Even though it may not show on a statistical basis, look, the statistics can't see what's happening in the market. It can't see, where the market finds value and it doesn't. That's all it's just, a dumb cone, basically. This, like the the predictability paths of a hurricane. It's like this, not really taking into consideration anything else that could be injected into that equation. Same thing with market direction. It doesn't know that when you get below this level or get above that level, the traders find no value there. But if you can inject that into it, you can increase your effective probability of profit above 95%. And therefore, you can even take in more credit. You can get closer to your work. When you get closer to your work and increase your probability of profit, that's a big key. And closer in time, the money starts flowing larger and faster. That's the key. That is the key. That is the nirvana of options trading. Take intrinsic value out of the equation. Get as close to your work as you possibly can. Use whatever tools that you have to increase your effective probability of profit and take it to 0 DTE. High probability, virtually guaranteed income. And we're doing it here. We're doing it on our asymmetric alerts as well as our Robinhood alerts. And that's it. That's it. All right. I've got nothing really else to say. I just gave you the secret to life, the secret to nirvana. And now it's time to go. Thanks for showing up. We'll see you next video. Take care.